How
But I
old
was
are
the-
you? No disrespect, because I think we're all an older panel here. That's
Yeah,
fine to say.
I'm 40 years
You
old.
hit the wall. You're like me.
I was
Okay,
married
sister.
for 10 years.
Great. So you got to lower your standards, and you will
I'm not
change
going
your
to
life.
lower my standards at all, ever.
But you're living in a pipe dream if you think that you're going to attract a man when you're making multiple six figures that's going to like be, and I'm sorry, you don't look that sexual to me. I'm just being honest. You don't look like you're giving blowjobs every day. And are you going to be able
I don't want to look like that, by the way.
Okay, great, cool. And let's see what kind of man you get. Do you think that you're going to be able to give up your business if a man comes to you? You're going to walk and drop everything, the covers, because it's clear that your significance is what's driving your life, and you know Tony Robbins' work.
Okay, that's
Would
your
you?
opinion.
Would you?
I'm not going to drop anything
That's
for
right.
any man.
That's right. My point exactly. You're delusional to think you're going to get a high-value man who's going to pay your bills, who you won't suck his dick, and you're not going to drop your six-figure business for him.
They say that accountability is a woman's kryptonite. Leave them to boxed wine and cat land where they belong. I guess that's true. When older women hit the wall in the dating market, they point the finger at everyone and everything but themselves. Older women are led to believe that dating will be a lot easier as they get older, since they now know their worth, have tons of experience, and know exactly what they want. But the reality is, not only are these absolutely not the things that men are looking for, these women even add more traits and requirements to the mix that make it virtually impossible for them to ever be happy with anyone. Women will really get to their 30s, even 40s, single, and only then do they realize that men don't need to commit to an old used rag. And only then do they start to freak out. After the freak out, some accept their major mistake. Others just turn to feminism. I believe they have a constant case of Cinderella syndrome. They believe they are special, and there is a Prince Charming who will find them one day and pick them up and take them to a castle where they will live happily ever after, where all their dreams and desires will come true. And they have a built-in defense mechanism. Anyone who tries to get them to think about this practically is just their evil stepsisters or stepmother. So they are insulated in their delusion. I think it's really funny and sad how women, especially post-wall women, try to rush the getting to know you part and try to get straight to the intimate relationship part. These women maliciously ignored us men since we were in school. They deserve the unhappiness they created for themselves. That's just life. Most of us were decent men who just wanted to be with a decent woman who could not see the greatness in us. Most of us men moved on and found good mates to build a life with. Seeing them in their late 30s, 40s, and 50s a victim of their choices makes us feel sad for them, but not sad enough to think they don't deserve this. What women in general fail to understand is that the market determines their value, not their own self-perception. These older women mostly all perceive themselves to be far more valuable than the market dictates, which is why they get so frustrated and lash out against men, whom they blame for this. For a woman, her value is the highest when she first enters the market, and it slowly declines in her 20s, before dropping dramatically in her 30s. For men, it's generally the opposite, where their value is highest in their 30s after they've established themselves in the workforce and made a good salary. The guy that dates a 40-plus woman is likely a 50-plus man, and he has done all the things. He's traveled, owned houses, been married, been divorced, has kids, and done it all. So, what does this guy want? Cooperation, peace, fun, and intimacy, in that order. He's not looking to marry or cohabitate because he's not letting her be able to make any claim on his wealth. So the best she can expect is an LTR living separately, and he might not want to be monogamous. What women also fail to realize is that as they get older, the number of women younger and more energetic that are also in the dating pool gets larger. So it is not that there are no good men left. The fact is there are just more and better options for men to choose from. And the number of men in their dating pool gets smaller as older men get married or start dating women younger than them. Women are more likely to be drawn to men who have access to resources and money, and intelligent men who put in the effort and save money will only grow more appealing to women over time. Men, on the other hand, are drawn to women because of their capacity for reproduction. The aging process can be compared to a game of poker full of deception and other types of misdirection, where both sides are involved. For example, if a man and a woman were playing poker in their early 20s, the man starts with 1 chip and the woman has 90, but by the time they are 35, he has 85 of those chips and she has only 6. Your financial resources have a significant impact on your status and alternatives in real life, just like in poker. More women than men that I am aware of wasted their money rather than saved it when they were young. They would go on trips, purchase shoes, have supper out a couple of times a week, and hang out a lot with their pals. When they are in their mid-30s, they would also spend a lot of money on makeup and cab fare. I've come across women who are deeply indebted from credit card debt and student loans and are searching for a wealthy man to bail them out. Numerous ladies I know have openly admitted to me that they are looking for a sugar daddy to assist them in paying off their debts. Men start to peak after their 30s, and their value only increases up until their 50s. Most women can easily attract the attention of men of any age when they are in their 20s, but beyond the age of 30 to 35, when their appearance starts to deteriorate, the attention of teenagers, 20-somethings, and even men of their own age start to fade as they start to focus on younger women instead. Many women believe that the men in their age groups don't treat them fairly. Women who are 35 years old question why guys their age don't want to date and marry them. The truth of the matter is that a 35-year-old man with a job, money, and a car can entice younger, more attractive women in their 20s. Most men need a year or two to get to know a woman before becoming engaged and then getting married. As a result, if a guy marries a 35-year-old woman after going through this process, she won't give birth until she's 38, which will significantly reduce her odds of having children. A woman in her early to mid-30s must begin considering men in their late 30s, 40s, and perhaps even 50s as potential suitors. Many of these older men are now the only ones left on the market because they have already had children and marriages. If these men are divorced, they likely already have children, and they might want a second wife. Some of the mid-30s women I know don't seem to want to accept this. They claim that only older men are looking at them, and they find it repulsive. These same ladies spent their 20s hopping from one fling to another, and now they're confused about what happened. They didn't anticipate finding themselves in this situation, and things weren't supposed to turn out this way. Many of them find it shocking that men select women rather than women selecting men. It's challenging for women to accept that they aren't being pursued in the same way they once were, since the natural order of relationships has been turned in favor of males. Only a small percentage of guys who have been physically burned by women, have an understanding of the plight of women in their 30s, are now the men they choose to date instead of the entire male side of the human race. For women, the aging wall can be a huge psychological blow. Men age considerably more slowly than women do, and once they are in their mid to late 30s, they are more willing to date a variety of 20-something women. My single friends hold the majority of the cards and poker chips in the new dating game, but since I recently made many of them aware of men going their own way, they are giving up the game and focusing on finding their own happiness. So, the issue is not whether it is fair or unfair for women to mature early and reach their SMV saturation point in their 30s. Rather, in my opinion, the issue is how rarely women are open to the reality that is in front of them. The reality of age, the fact of beauty, the truth of life. Why do women deny the existence of the wall? I think it's because they're completely terrified of facing the reality. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. And let us know your thoughts on this in the comments. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.